I sense no danger here.
He's coming.
Five Nights at Freddy movie fans, it is a glorious day here at the pizzeria because we have now gotten our third trailer for the movie. Jason Blum, aka Papa Blum, blessed us here with "Wanna Bite? Oh yes, please."
Was that the bite of 87?
And we are munching hard on this trailer because let me tell you, this continues to build up my excitement for the movie. So what I'm going to be doing here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown on this latest Five Nights at Freddy's movie trailer. I'll be pointing out some Easter eggs you might have missed, little details here and there, how we are starting to feel about this movie now that it's getting closer. You know, should we be screaming the doomsday clock? Is this actually going to be a winner? Should we be lowering our expectations or keeping them skyrocket high? Because come on, who was not hyped after the end of that trailer? All right, so a couple of things before we dive straight into the trailer. I was in the middle of making a side flick where I talked about this trailer a brewing. We could thank Cryptic Quality for letting us know that this Green Band trailer was coming up. And remember, this is the same source that told us that the movie is coming close to 3 hours long. And with them being right about this trailer, it only adds more credibility to their claim that this movie is close to 3 hours. So if that does turn out to be the case with these 3 trailers that we've gotten, we still have only scratched the surface of what we're going to be seeing go down in this movie. We also got some behind the scene photos of the influencers who were invited on the set earlier this year to check out the animatronics in person. Just a nice little look at them. Good for them. Very happy for them. Not jealous at all. But man, can you imagine getting that close to Chica? I wouldn't control myself. Then we got some new posters that came along with this trailer. One international poster that kind of gives me Goosebump vibes. I really like the shading of green around the animatronics. I think this poster is really sick. It would definitely be one I'd hang up on my wall. I really like this one. And then this one of the animatronics kind of peeking out of the ball pit. It was also the thumbnail for this new trailer. And yeah, they have toned down the red eyes. They really have heard the complaints from the fans since the first trailer came out. And you know what? I'm kind of glad because yeah, this looks a lot better and more subtle than just the flat out red eyes from the original poster. I feel like this works better, even just to kind of show off the eye colors of the animatronics. Just Freddy with his blue eyes, Bonnie Chica red, the cupcake Foxy. They look really cool. I love these posters. Okay, but now finally digging into the full trailer. So as always, guys, we're going to be sticking to new things. If you want to see me talk about the obvious Easter eggs and parallels to the video games that we've already seen a dozen times, you can check out the last 2 breakdowns. And well, the trailer starts off with what looks like a couple of vandalizers slash thieves sneaking in to the pizzeria. Now, this only further helps us prove what the motive is of this family, because a lot of us had our theories from the first trailer that maybe these were family members of the kids that went missing in the pizzeria. Whether it be, you know, like the older brother and sister or father of one of the kids that disappeared, and maybe they were coming in to destroy the animatronics or just get a little bit of revenge. And from the looks of it here, no, it just looks like there are a couple of thieves, maybe townsfolk who hear the legend about the Five Nights at Freddy's pizzeria where the kids did go missing, so they just hate this place and don't feel bad at all for vandalizing it. At least that's the explanation I come up with in my head, because can you imagine wanting to go vandalize an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese for quarters in their slot machines? Guys risking a felony for 30 bucks in quarters. Then again, the 10-year-old inside of us would definitely want to go back to Chuck E. Cheese and get all those things we could never afford with our tickets. Why did that sticky hand cost 300 tickets? I only had 250. Help me out here. We see at one point in the kitchen a character hearing something rattle inside the fridge, only for Chica to appear right behind him and be attacked by a cupcake. Okay, this trailer has got to be the first one out of the 3 that gives me a little bit of ease with the PG-13 rating. Because as someone who was looking forward to this movie, that was my only gripe. I didn't think the PG-13 was going to make the movie bad. That's not what I mean at all. I just would like to see me my blood and guts and, you know, these animatronics doing horrific things. At first, looking at this, I thought it was going to be another cutaway kill where Chica's there, then he screams and we don't see nothing. But the fact that they cut back and show that dang cupcake just munching away at his face lets me know, sure, maybe I'm not gonna get blood or bones in this sequence, but that is just kind of fun to see. Bringing us to the voiceover by Mathew Lillard here as William Afton, or Steve Raglan, career counselor, offering Mike Schmidt the job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. This is still going to be the most interesting part of the movie to me because, again, they're naming him Steve Raglan. They're making him this career counselor. To people who don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, they're going to treat this career counselor as the killer or villain of the movie, sort of like the twist of the film. When most of us fans already know this is the man behind the pizzeria. pizzeria. We know there's a specific reason he's sending this security guard to look after the pizzeria at night. There was even this recent magazine interview with the director of the movie, Emma Tammy, that talks about how excited she is for people to see Mathew Lillard be this villain on screen. She said exactly, what Mathew brings to all his characters is a wink and a twinkle in his eye that makes these horrible, villainous acts and characters weirdly likable. A lot of the material is really dark, but if there isn't a lightness of spirit to some of that, it would fall flat, and Mathew perfectly embodies that. And man, hearing her say that has me really excited, because one of the things I was going to talk about in my update video before this trailer got revealed today is my wish list for this trailer is that they were going to show us more Mathew Lillard, more William Afton. All so far in all these teaser trailers, we have him in the exact same scene the whole time, inside this little career office, talking to Mike Schmidt, offering him the job. I really hope there's a lot more William Afton outside of this one scene. Another thing I liked about this trailer is they're starting to introduce the animatronics to general audiences, because again, we know we're fans, we obsess all over this, but people watching this for the first time, it's cool that they're showcasing the names of each one of the animatronics. One part of the trailer that does have me a little curious is this moment where we see Mike Schmidt in this sort of dreamlike state where he's meeting the ghost children that are possessing these animatronics. He seems so confused and out of it where he's blurting out the words,
Some kids went missing.
What is this?
That feels a little bit odd for like a dream sequence that is happening inside someone's head. I'd hate to go out there and get really wild with my theories, but is there any chance that the device he's strapped to can also showcase to him these memories? You know, in the Five Nights at Freddy's video game world, we recently got revealed that FNAF 4 was actually all William Afton performing these experiments on children, gassing them up and whatnot. And I wonder if any of these like William Afton experiments are going to come into play into the movie, because this is still by Scott Cawthon. Everything in here, from the story, the screenplay, all that was approved by Scott. Just the way he acts within this dream makes me wonder if he's under some sort of trance or is being manipulated to have these memories. I don't know. It just caught to me weird the way he acts when he starts to see these ghost children. And well, speaking of William Afton experiments, we finally have one of the questions answered that we've been wondering forever. The original security guard before Mike Schmidt takes the job is going to be put in this saw trap like device that William Afton has created to kind of shred up his face. This is a really cool sequence. I'm going to be curious to see how the rest of it plays out, knowing that the movie's PG-13. This is a scene I would have loved to have seen rated R, to just see this character's face get shredded up and blood spew everywhere. Now they're definitely going to cut away and maybe just show us a shadow. I was also even a little fascinated by this shot here from one of the intruders early on in the movie, where she sees a ghost kid in the hallway and follows them to a room where Freddy Fazbear is just standing there. I wasn't expecting them to do this in the movie, is have the ghost apparitions appear to the victims and lure them in. I also even want you to focus on this line that she specifically says. She says, how in the heck? I'm assuming that once she gets into the room and sees Freddy Fazbear, the ghost child that was luring her in is probably saying something like, I'm in here, help, I'm stuck inside this thing. Which is what makes her pull out the chair and start looking in the mouth of Freddy Fazbear before she just ends up dying. It's also a great way to communicate to the audience that these ghost kids literally live inside these animatronics. And then here's where the trailer starts getting a little unhinged with a bunch of different sequences happening. We still continue to get to see some animatronics with red eyes, particularly Foxy. So it looks like they haven't completely removed the red eyes. Maybe they're just hiding them from the trailers to avoid more backlash. The other funny thing I do want to mention with Foxy is we do get to see one of the infamous Foxy runs that was always memed about in the FNAF community kind of pops up in here. That's great that they threw that in. I know a lot of fans wanted to see that. Although I will mention the running looks so stiff and kind of like a typical FNAF jump scare. I also love this shot of Chica's eyes squinting and looking mad. In this quick glimpse, you also get to see somebody choking Vanessa. And yes, me next, daddy? What? I'm going to assume that's Spring Bonnie. If not, that could be Chica, since it looks like it's yellow fur. Bringing us to this final shot that really gave me a lot of confidence and comfort with this PG-13 rating is this eerie, creepy shot of William Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit. And wow, this is a horrifying shot. Pair it up also with the William Afton giggling. Nah, man, if you give me more sequences like that, You nailed it! There's photos where fans have already brightened it up and worked with the effects so you can get a clearer look. And yeah, you can see half the suit looks pretty good. The other half looks really messed up, withered away. Just to kind of recap to my people unfamiliar with the lore, this is one of the 2 original suits from an earlier version of the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria. This was from Fredbear's Family Diner. This was at a time where they only had 2 animatronics, a gold Fredbear and a gold Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie was the favorite suit that William Afton would like to wear to lure in children and, well, you know, unalive them. And again, even though we don't get this in the games, I love that in the movie they gave Spring Bonnie a knife. It just gives it that slasher appeal that makes me so excited. Because I'm pretty sure William Afton is physically wearing the suit. He is inside this thing, getting down to business, slicing people up, and well, a lot of fans think that this movie will most likely end with the infamous spring lock scene. The problem with these older suits is if you got them wet, it haywires and all the mechanical parts compress the user inside, killing them. But just like how the ghost children can take over the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic, the ghost of William Afton takes over the Spring Bonnie suit, turning him into Springtrap, thus setting us up for the sequel, and we are set to get 3 of these movies. It would be so interesting to see then what they would do in the second film with this character, because in this first film, since it looks like it's William Afton possessing the suit, it makes sense that he has a knife. He's just human right now. He's just a regular guy doing some slashing. In the next movie, I don't think he'll have the knife. He'll be a spirit possessing the suit, probably have more supernatural abilities and a lot crazier strengths where the knife isn't necessary. And it'll be just kind of like a good transition of the character. But I was mentioning, you know, these sequences, they look eerie, they look scary, and that's what I kind of want for Five Nights at Freddy's, regardless of the PG-13 rating. You can still give us creepy imagery, and man, they are rocking it here. I really hope he is not in this suit for like a merely 10-15 minutes of the movie. If this thing is 3 hours long, I need me a full hour of William Afton, Mathew Lillard hamming it up the way he kind of did as Stu inside that suit. So yeah, this trailer was a big win. I'm so excited for this movie. I want to hear from you guys. What did you think about this trailer? Did it give you a lot of hope regardless of the PG-13 rating? How do you think they'll handle the transition from Spring Bonnie to Spring Trap? Anything and everything, be sure and leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.